Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? Edgeman Cinedrop coming to you guys today with another deck tech. So, today we are going to be taking a look at a deck that has been very popularly requested. So, today we are taking a look at Bolas Grixis. So, this is going to be a combination of a Nicol Bolas control deck, a Grixis deck, which it's in the color index of Nicol Bolas, and it's also going to use Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. So there's a whole lot of Bolas in this deck. So we are going to break it down, but before we get to that, if you guys have any suggestions for decks that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments below and I'll take it into consideration for future deck techs. So the first thing that we're taking a look at in this deck is the land base. So we're going to break it down, and the first card that we have here is Sulfur Falls. So we're running a playset of Sulfur Falls, and this one is a altered one that I got from abugames.com. If you guys are interested in these, there is a link down below where you can buy them. But playset of Sulfur Falls for red and blue. I'm going to put those down there. Drowned Catacomb. So we're running a playset of this as well. A lot of basics. And Dragonskull Summit. So this is going to be a playset as well. And a lot of the, I guess you could call them the core set dual lands, because we run a lot of basic lands. We have Desolate Lighthouse, so this is a 2-of in the deck, and this ended up being a really great card to run in the deck just because it lets you draw cards, and it lets you discard the stuff that you don't need, like lands, whenever it comes into the late game. So Desolate Lighthouse is definitely a really good card for this deck, especially when we have a lot of surplus mana with stuff like Gilded Lotus. Then we can use 2 of the mana and tap something else and get the other appropriate mana we need for Desolate Lighthouse. So we end up just using 1 of our own mana to use Desolate Lighthouse away from Gilded Lotus, but you still have that 1 mana floating. For basic lands, we have 4 mountains. Alright, we have 3 islands. And we have 3 swamps. So pretty straightforward. Not much to contemplate about it and speculate about it either. But now we're going to take a look at everything else. So it was kind of specific how I broke the rest of this stuff down. But first off, we're taking a look at the Planeswalkers. So we have Nicol Bolas. Big bulky 8 cost dude. 5 loyalty. His +3 lets you destroy a target non-creature permanent, and because we have a lot of like creature control in this deck and board wiping, blowing up lands is going to be the best thing about him. Also stuff like Oblivion Ring if your opponent's using it. -2 lets you take control of creatures, which is always awesome. And his -9 just blows everything up. Dealing 7 damage to target player, making them discard 7 cards and sacrifice 7 permanents. Whenever you hit his ultimate, it's pretty much game over. But Nicol Bolas definitely awesome guy for this deck. We're running 2 of them. We have a lot of searching with Tezzeret here, which we are going to take a look at next, where we're going to weed out the deck from artifacts and get to the stuff that we want. So with Tezzeret, we're running 3 of him. His +1 lets you look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal an artifact from among them, put it into your hand, and the rest of the cards go to the bottom of your library in any order. -1 lets you turn a artifact into a 5/5 creature, and -4 deals damage, or, well, your opponent loses life, it doesn't deal damage. They lose life equal to X, which X is twice the number of artifacts you control, and then you gain X amount of life back. So it's one of the it's a way to win, but it's definitely not my favorite one. I think that my favorite way to win with this deck is blowing stuff up with Nicol Bolas, but Tezzeret lets you search for a lot of artifacts, and we have quite a good bit of them in the deck. Next we have Karn, just because I wanted another big bulky dude as a 7-drop. I might go for another Nicol Bolas. That's for you guys to kind of toy around with. But I've actually liked running one Karn as well, just because he lets you exile target permanent, which Nicol Bolas does let you take control of creatures, but at the same time, I do like Karn for being able to exile stuff and also disrupt their hand, make them discard stuff. That's always good. I just like a little bit of variety. And some decks like to run Surgical Extraction, so if they go for like Nicol Bolas that's in the grave for some reason, then I'm kind of screwed out of that one big bulky dude. But Karn was in here just because Karn is a really great Planeswalker, and if you're really getting screwed, you can restart the game. But that really, really never happens. I don't think I've ever restarted a game with Karn that I needed to restart one. I might have done it once or twice to spite somebody, but Karn has never restarted games for me to just keep me in the game. But one Karn. One Tamiyo, and I actually cut one Sphere of the Suns from 4 to 3 just to run her. She's a great Planeswalker as well, again, because we run a lot of control, 5 cost Planeswalker. With her +1, you are going to essentially be tapping down your opponent's land so they can't use them. -2, you draw cards equal to each tap creature that target player controls, which is most of the time going to be your opponent. But sometimes us as well if we attack with Solemn or something like that. Mainly, she's going to be here to tap down stuff. That's the real big thing that you want to do with her, is just tap down your opponent's stuff so that they really can't play anything. Because, again, like I said, and I'm going to keep on saying it because this deck runs a lot of heavy board wiping, that Tamiyo just gets the job done when it comes to tapping down lands, and your opponent's not going to be able to do a lot. So that's why I have her. Also, if you hit her ultimate, it becomes pretty nice being able to get your stuff from going to the grave back into your hand. So one Tamiyo. Moving on to the artifacts, we have one Batterskull, a nice 5-drop. Gets you a creature, a germ token creature onto the battlefield, equips itself onto it. It's great because it can bounce back for 3 mana or re-equip to something else for 5. Batterskull is just a great way to gain back life as well against some matchups. So that's one of our awesome artifacts. Another one that's really nice is Wurmcoil Engine, so we have 2 of them in here. 6-drop card, 6/6 Death Touch lifelink. Whenever it dies, you get 2 tokens, 2 3/3 tokens, should I say, 1 Death Touch and 1 lifelink. So Wurmcoil is another really awesome 6-drop card. Spellskite, we're running 2 of these as well, just because they redirect stuff from our Planeswalkers, which is always nice. Stuff like Artifact Hate. So Spellskite lets us kind of bounce back from that. And also, it's a 0/4 for 2 mana, which is good against aggro. It's a good early game blocker, because not a lot of your opponent's stuff is going to be that powerful. We have Solemn, so we're running a playset of him. Whenever he enters the battlefield, we search our library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield. If he dies, we draw a card. Always nice, even if he gets destroyed by our own Slagstorm or something like that. So, playset of Solemn. Gilded Lotus, and this is another one of the altars that I have, but we're running 2 of them in the deck. Again, if you guys are interested in these, there's a link down below. But Gilded Lotus is an awesome 5-drop because it lets you accelerate if you want to play Nicol Bolas and you can't hit that land drop, or Karn, stuff like that. And it pretty much just lets you do more things. Like, it'll let you play a Slagstorm on your turn and then something else, where if you didn't have Gilded Lotus, it might be a little bit harder to do it. I just like Gilded Lotus because it's one of those permanents that it'll stay onto the battlefield, it'll keep on getting you the mana every turn, and it'll just build up for Tezzeret. That's one of those things, is you want to have some of these artifacts stick and have them for a while, where Tezzeret is actually going to be efficient if you use his ultimate, but most of the time you're just going to be searching for better options. But Gilded Lotus is definitely really good, lets you do more things per turn. So 2 Gilded Lotus. Sphere of the Suns, so like I said before, we're running 3 of these. One of them was dropped for Tamiyo. But 3 spheres, turn 2, you can drop it, and then either mana accelerate or mana fix, depending on what the situation is. But usually there's not really a problem with mana in this deck, just because it's really straightforward, and black really isn't that much of an issue because you only see it in a splash for stuff like Tezzeret, Nicol, Bolas. But most of the time you're going to have your red and blue, and you're going to need black, and spear is going to be what's going to give you that. For other spells now, stuff that's not artifacts, we have Mana Leak, so we're running a playset. And it's really nice because a lot of people don't expect Mana Leak because of Cavern of Souls being in Standard now. But it's definitely nice whenever you hit Mana Leak and your opponent taps the wrong lands and forgets about Cavern of Souls just because they're using it as a mana fixer and not a counter protection card. But Mana Leak helps with that. It helps against control decks as well, and anything that isn't a creature. But large and in wide, Mana Leak helps against creatures as well because, like I said, a lot of people won't hit their Cavern of Souls, or they'll just forget about it and play really carelessly and forget that people could still be running Mana Leak in Standard. Next we have Ponder, and I have one of my altered ones, and that Mana Leak was altered by me as well. But play set of Ponder just lets us rearrange stuff, which is nice, and we can shuffle it away if we don't like what we see for the next two upcoming turns. But Ponder's a really nice way to draw in the deck and rearrange for miracles like Bonfire. For removal we have Slagstorm, so lets us board wipe, deals 3 damage to creatures or 3 damage to players, which I could do that and just kind of shave my opponent's life down really easily. But usually it's for creatures early game, stuff like that. Most aggro decks have creatures of up to 3 toughness, so it really shouldn't be a problem to take care of stuff like that. Sometimes it may be an issue with stuff like Wolfear, Silverheart, but usually that's not the case. Usually you can find a way around it. But Slagstorm's just for little dudes. You just don't want them to survive. And it's been working really well so far. So play set of Slagstorm. Then we have Bonfire of the Damned. I'm running 2 Devil's Play because I didn't have 2 more Bonfires, but you definitely need 3 Bonfires in this deck, and that's how I've been playtesting it. But Bonfire is just amazing if you hit the Miracle, just because it doesn't deal damage to your own creatures, and you can make it as high as you possibly can if you're confident that your opponent doesn't have a Mana Leak, and you can just deal damage to your opponent, which is nice. So Bonfire and the Devil's Plays, they were close. It's kind of close enough because you want one of those spells where, okay, I have all this mana, what am I going to do with it? So Devil's Play was one of those substitute cards for Bonfire, but I really wouldn't say that they're replaceable by any means, just because Bonfire board wipes and deals damage. Devil's Play just deals damage but has the flashback, which isn't always as relevant. Nonetheless, 3 Bonfires is the ideal way to go, but if you're really trying to push it with budget, just go with 3 Devil's Plays and just hope that the Bonfire wasn't the needed choice in that given situation. But that about does it for this deck tech. So that was the whole deck. If you guys missed anything, the entire deck list is down below. Please be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with more deck techs and other Magic the Gathering videos. And thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful, fun-filled Magic the Gathering day.